Good morning. Good morning. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. On this day, March 29th, 2021, and this is today, Monday, festival of Holi. Those who are related, happy Holi to all of them. Thank you. My talk is related to routine profession, civil engineering, field engineering, design engineering, and title being civil, field engineering, designs, construction methods and contracts, AnnexSL organizations, communication, coordination, quantity, quality, and most important is quality. That is my, you can say, kind of mission to make people aware about quality. It's not patent of anybody, but it's a requirement of life. Requirement means a must, What is meaning of requirement? Requirement means a must. A must means it is mandatory, not by statute, but by order of work, by order of object, or by order of product that we produce. Quality cannot be defined. It has to be defined in a way it should be. Quality can be defined in different ways, and that's what I say. It's very important that we should take care of that rather than understand quality plus designs. When I say quality plus, this means quality and above that whatever is required, because quality is always undefined. It is defined within certain limitations. We have to understand that point. Then designs, construction, methods, time, cost, risks, reliability, all these factors are related to whatever product we deliver. Is all related to, and analysis, synthesis, thinking, contemplation, application. Ultimate is engineering application. Application, whatever we produce, we do, that depends on certain application, and that application is based on certain contemplation, and contemplation is based on certain thinking, and thinking is based on certain analysis and synthesis, and or backing related to approach towards reliability, risks, cost, time, and reliability is a sum of all these. That something should be safe, it should be it should be in service continuously, as well as for whole duration till this good or this product, this object serves. And there are certain bags for that. It should have complete quality based on designs and based on construction methods. That is, you can say, if you want to talk about quality, I think there is no end. We can take at whatever length quality and talk. That is, there is no limit. You can define your way, I can define my way, but ultimately it's product that talks. It's product, nothing else. We have to take into our consideration that point. There is no limit to description, to definition, to explanation, to elaboration, to corroboration. Quality has to be achieved, and it has to be achieved within certain limits. Unlimited, nothing can be done. Quality is also limited to our designs, our specifications, and that's why we say in our world, engineering world, what was a specification for this work, we have to follow that specification, we have to follow that, we have to conform to that provision within work or contract. It's simply called contract provision or work provision, and that specification must be complied with. And if your action, your work doesn't comply with that specification, it is called non-conform work, means we can't accept this. And people and officers and engineers or supervisors, whoever they are responsible, issue non-conformance report. NCR usually call it non-conformance report, means your work does not conform to requirement of this building or structure, whatever requirement. Particularly, I'm referring to structure. I'm not referring to finishing items or others, because those items are tolerable. Those items do not carry any load, any action, and even if there's some failure on those items, it doesn't jeopardize structure. But if there is failure on the structure due to whatever reason, complete failure, collapse, or there is some distress on that, if you see some distress is distress or it's overstress or something deformation or whatever exists or occurs on that structure, it impacts upon all other items. And that is very important point, that structure should be sound, it should be strong enough to resist all forces successfully. That forces are intended to be imposed upon that structure. That point is very basics. A structure means a system. A structure doesn't mean an element. If we consider, like we study in books, in textbooks of university or degree college or whatever degree or diploma or post graduation, that cannot be applied. Here we are talking of a system, complete system. I'm not talking of elemental designs, like we have to design some column or some beam or some slab or some foundation. No, we are not talking about that. When I talk about a structure, whatever structure it relates to building or to something else, that should be, you can say, a kind of integrated unit. We should consider that structure as a system. All loads that starts from one member should go to through all members, all related members of frame, down to foundation and then down to soil below for purpose of final distribution. That is main point you have to consider. Absence of structural consideration, absence of systematic consideration means complete failure of understanding about the structure. We cannot take any member in isolation and design it, because there is always distribution of various forces and various actions on system of structure. It doesn't mean if you take some force on one member, it shall be they are permanent. No, it keeps on varying and it keeps on redistribution and again redistribution, and then depends on flexibility, depends on variance of forces all time, because forces on structures are never regular, they are not permanent. This keeps on changing from time to time. There are only certain forces which are permanent. For example, weight of each element, weight of structure, or dead weight we call it, that could be considered under certain limitations as permanent. But other loads which are incidental or accidental or live loads or whatever load, wind load or seismic action, whatever actions which vary all time and which can't remain, they may be instantly or they may be transient, they may be permanent, but weight of material is always permanent. That we have to consider in point, but that's permanent doesn't make other loads permanent. So we have to consider, in fact, in theory as it is in practical, nothing can be fixed. It depends upon situation, it depends upon requirement, it depends upon know-how, and depends upon how, to what extent you consider something. And all this involves quality working, quality thinking, quality itself, system quality, design quality, construction quality, or we can say by whatever name, method statements, time, cost, risks, and whatever we may say, it happens. And that's very important, the reliability. As you can say, let us start something like this. We say, I want to do some quality work, but I have to understand quality first. Just simply saying it's quality product You can't accept that. Quality means define quality first. What is your definition of quality? So I can say I have to define completely what is my intention about this quality. Yes, there is some natural quality of product, that's of course there, which no one can change. But after that, when that natural quality comes with other natural qualities and other combinations and integral, or you can say all ingredients within that mix, you can say quality is changed, it varies. So we have to define quality, and once we define quality, it relates to design. Means whatever quality we want to achieve or define, that must be related to design, and design must be related to that. A designer has to achieve that quality product under definition. So design has to be restrained within that. You can't cross that. We can't under. We can't take under that. We have to comply with this requirement. That's again requirement. And all these, when we have defined quality as well as designs. So our basic framework is ready for quality. So we can say, okay, we try this design for execution and prosecution, and that's called construction. And construction is that word in this domain of construction engineering, civil engineering, that is a process, you can say, physical process, which leads to quality and success of design. When design is successful, for implementation, quality automatically is successful, and that happens through construction. Construction is not a word merely, it's not process, it's complete engineering, complete engineering where design is given value, design is done practically through, and quality is inculcated into that work. So construction is very big domain of engineering, particularly civil engineering, because it produces something, it produces some product that is going to be used for long time, which we call it long durability. Means much more than the length of your time, may be more than your life, more than your kid's life, unknown length. You have to keep this in mind, that construction is that important, and that important construction has become possible only because of power of design, contemplation on design, value of design, quality of design, and that quality itself goes to quality of construction. And all this based on certain definitions, certain precise statements, which based on which we think how to do job, and we write how to do job, and we understand how to do job, based on certain conventions, based on certain successful procedures, and of course thinking, because result is same, but your process could be different, sequences could be different, but product should be same. So method statements carry weight here. From that point of view, you can say it's kind of media, it's a kind of reporting, it's a kind of collection of information, it's a kind of keeping everything safe, it's kind of some statement that you can say it is technical statement based on experience, based on proven experience, based on thoughtful experience. So method statements is kind of professional document. It's a kind of, it's not a kind of, but actually it's a professional document, because what did you think, what do you think, you are going to do that. You are going to, means method statement cannot be fixed, it varies. For same item there's one method at this place, and for same item there will be same method but in different way on another place. So method statements vary everywhere. There would be hundreds of method statements on one project, and there could be only few method statements because they are going to be repeated for repeated item, but there could be some variance everywhere. So we should give value to method statements if we want to give value to work, because method is very important. How you have to do work, this method shall consume your energies of money, energies of product, energies of designs, energies of what you are going to do. This method statement describes that. If you don't describe that, means keeping in mind method statement is one part, because that's only confined to you. But if you give to others, how can you give it? Your mind has method inside, it works. If you are alone, you do something, there's no need of writing method statement because that is in the mind, and you think again and again and do it. But if you have to liaise with people, you have to deal with people, you are a member or head of a team, crew, then those people who are directly responsible for that, they should know what is your intention. And that intention comes from some written expression, and that is called method. And moreover, it is technical word, it's technical process to write method statements. It's not easy, it's not contemporary. It is, if you experience something, how we do that. That's important. Method statement activity based, or method statement some building based, or method statement some work based, or some project based. Sometimes we call them procedures, and also sometimes we call them execution statement, and sometimes we call them specialized methods with activities. It depends, means whether it's for whole work, it's for repairs, it's for maintenance, or for what it is. So method statement, I think it carries weight. We must understand as engineers I'm talking of, what I'm talking of. I had opportunity in my career, and particularly while I worked as an engineering part of project, an engineering part, that I was lucky to write, you can say, many statements for many disciplines, in fact, which information I collected from my own mind, my own experience, as well as from those who used to do that on site. And if I had to do on site, I would write myself based on my own experience, and then discuss with our staff. What is best? You're going to work like this, or you have different mind set up. So I could amend that. Then I say there's basic of production process. Now, what impact does it give on other? Method statement resolves something. It allows freedom for everybody. Everybody knows what to do. Information is available. This means time is impacted upon. You can save time, and of course, cost can be affected if your method is good. You are doing best in a way that time is saved, and if time is saved, naturally, cost is saved to some extent. And of course, when time and cost are resolved, your methods are resolved, your possible risks also resolved to some extent. Your jeopardy can go. So these risks which saves your job, which risks which were considered when you didn't know how to do the job, you could waste time, that's a risk. It is going to cost, that's a risk. And also it could endanger safety of working, that is also one big point, and that risk is gone. So there are many technical and non-technical risks which can be combat, which can be tackled under professionalism of method statement, and reliability is positive. Then you can say you are sure that your work has been safe or shall be safe. It shall be serviceable. It shall do what it is intended for, and also means it shall continue for long, which time means it's beyond our control, beyond our thinking. And also all this is done based on your thinking. Based on thinking means analysis, and thinking also means assembly or synthesis. When you analyze something, you know what that is, and that's very important part of life. I mean to say, analysis, you can say, is a way, is a route to solve some problem, because analysis first of all reveals problem which is hidden somewhere, which must be identified, and this is analysis process only that reveals, exposes to ourselves problems, and we then can understand, we can study that problem. And if problem is really of solving nature, because when you know some problem exists, means then it is no more hazard, because you can think how to solve it, and you have capacity to solve it, because this is your own problem, and you have knowledge of profession, you have knowledge of that material, so you can solve by analysis, by process of analysis. There could be 10 problems, 5 problems in one work. You can solve all them after after doing analysis, once you conduct analysis, you find pleasure that okay, I've solved this, and when all analysis which are relevant to that problem are resolved, then you can link again them, and that's called a kind of synthetic work, synthesis, that you have assembled that based on your thinking. Thinking is involved in analysis as well as a synthesis, and this combination process, this in-depth and intensive process, gross process, you can term as contemplation, because there are so many templates you have linked together, and that's what contemplation, concentration of templates, you can say, and that's what you call a kind of application in engineering procedures. And this is not only engineering; this applies to whole life. It applies to your family, that you have to keep your family intact. You don't want your family should be disturbed. You don't want there should be fraction in your family. They should fragment here and there. Means you have to defragment them, you have to keep them combined, and even that's not possible, then you have to break them. So this happens. That's application. It's every in job it is, in work it is, in your life it is, in you can say as a nation it is, as a state it is political as well as it's non-political, economical as well as non-economical, engineering wise as no, because we are are problems, solutions are solutions. That's what we can say, that it is life. It is life everywhere. Life, if my body is not healthy, I have some problem, then I go to doctor and see what's problem is. For he doctor diagnoses it, analyzes it, and then I am given treatment. All the same process, but different way, because we do designs. In medical there is no design like that. That's the difference. So when I say we must be sure about this, then we must be sure about that, and that's where procedure lies in. We have to be very careful when we do work. It's not simply work because I have to say work. Work is work, and we have to understand what is work. That's the point here. Now, I have shown you something. Now, I was talking about buildings, and my interest first is in non-plant building, which we have gone through, and I say that we have covered blinding concrete, then many other statements. So I should say that let me go to some point where we can talk about again. Sorry, that's it. Yeah, it is. Let's say paste. This is which material it is. Let me see. Okay, this is this one. I'm not doing road works. I'm going to do this. Concrete interlocking blocks, and that is before it was, I think, floor script we are done. So I am not going to floor script. I am going to talk of interlocking blocks, which is very simple item, but it is to be understood properly. What it says, let us say concrete interlocking blocks. You know concrete blocks. People call them tiles also. This statement aims to propose procedure we adopted to lay cobstones and concrete interlocking blocks in paving around buildings. Generally, it's kind of footpath, you may say, a part of landscape, you can say, hard landscape, it can be said. So, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter, but what's required in this? Documents, site documents, landscape documents, development documents, miscellaneous details, specifications, etc. is all very, because it's not structural item, but a kind of structure item. Also in relation to carriageway, because these interlock blocks are used for traffic also sometimes, and there are different things. So no responsibilities are same as we saw. Responsibilities regarding supervising personnel on site shall be according to project approved quality plan, and we have quality plan everywhere. Project leader shall arrange all materials required through a subcontractor, if there is, or self, ensuring that activities carried out according to contract specifications, as well as all quality requirement procedures are strictly adhered to. Now, quality engineer has control and supervise activity, making sure that work is done according to procedures and ITPs and proceed for company or approvals. Road engineer foreman to carry out execution of relevant item physically according to direction given by leader, you can say. Now we have to consider safety. Where we general it is that to provide prior to commence with whatever activity, work, crew or force must receive a start card or toolbox talk relevant to operation concerned on project site safety requirements, and you know what is start card, safety task analysis, risk review technique, or whatever word you can say. Safety task analysis is risk review technique, and also toolbox talk means whatever tools they are going to use for whatever procedure, this must be briefly explained to them so that they give efficiency along with accidents are avoided. Means you have to keep accidents off which could happen due to ignorance and you can say carelessness while handling tool. Workers know how to handle tools, but this is physical work. They get tired during work while working many hours together, so they forget sometimes in panic, or sometimes you can say in sometimes in you can say I should say sometimes in you can say excitement, they they keep off they keep off safety, and the result is that accident happens which must not happen, and that point we have to understand well. So necessary measures shall be applied to all processes involving safety risk. Supervision, every day is common that a competent inspector must visit area daily to assess safety measures, whether or not being rightly adopted. All snags observed during visit be notified to supervisor present, who immediately would act to bring safety measures up to an acceptable standard. Okay, then I can say now material. In this case, we require curb stones which are approved one, and approved interlocking paving blocks which may be whatever color according to definition, according to specifications, requirement, or whatever, and to refer to landscape design and specifications. Now technical work starts say, well, we should know about the strength of these curb stones also, which is generally 49 Newton. It depends on, I experienced 49 Newton for heavy duty, and thickness also varied, which could be 80 mm or 50 mm, depending on it is whether for traffic use or for walkways. Well, that is different one, but I'm just referring that one. Now all loose soil should be cleared and formation level made up defined requirement, well compacted properly to specification requirements and approved. If required, pesticide treatment applied. Laying curb stones. Now there's certain definition for this. You have to set out line of curb, execution line, according to layout indicated on drawing, and excavation be done to formation level, which could be 450 mm from curb top level, or depending on size of curb, just for definition I given 450 mm because it was on some project. Now I am giving you as a sample. Formwork, fixing and pouring grade 20 concrete, 450 mm wide and 150 mm thick. Similarly, formwork, fixing and pouring grade 20 concrete, 150 mm wide and 150 mm thick, high. Pouring grade 20 concrete, all according to approved procedures. Then you can say all according to approved procedures, and then you have to provide 12 tall reinforcing bars at 200 center vertically, support in forms. That's the support of forms. And bedding and cement mortar, bed it cement mortar 1:3, which should be 25 mm thick for work curbstone. Grade 20 curbstones. This bedding should be that one. Curbstone is the 8mm. Then whatever grade it is, fixing carbon mortar to lines, labels, a chamfer facing pavement. So you have to refer to section, whatever is I don't have that one. So you have to do accordingly. Now alignment, you can say alignment. Tolerance shall be 3 mm in 75 mm both ways. 3 mm in 75 mm, that's alignment tolerance. It is 3 in 75, 3 mm 75, so 1 in 25. Vertically as well as horizontally, end to end butting mortar thickness shall be 3 mm. Butting means end to end of car. Placing hunchback fillet concrete grade as shown. Triangular fillet grade 20 is okay. Filling up to top of vertical concrete with earth fill compaction. All filling up to top of vertical concrete, top of with earth fill and compaction. This is very small section not shown here. All areas below proposed interlocking course to be filled with 100 mm brick, 100 mm thick sand. Means where you have to lay interlocking tiles, interlocking blocks. Below blocks there should be 100 mm thick sand scraped, all according to conventional procedure. Now QC inspector should be, or engineer should be conducted for curb laying approval and ITP completion sign off. Now you have to lay that, means lay paving stone locking blocks, very easy, not difficult as a structure. It's no slab, it's just ordinary but laying paving interlocking blocks. Thickness of interlocking block 60 mm, for example, let us say 60 mm for non-vehicle area. Okay, thickness of interlocking blocks 60 mm for non-vehicle area. Thickness of sand screed padding 100 mm. So total is 100 mm plus 60 mm, 160 mm. You can say course of this laying block. Plank runs means you have to provide some runs to walk. So plank runs shall be used to allow barrows to move, wheelbarrows to move. Wheelbarrows having one wheel, and it's like it's very small vehicle, tough vehicle. It very well. Wheelbarrows means allow barrows to move on to avoid level disturbance. So we have to provide some kind of timber route or small temporary route on which this can move. Then surveyor should set plotting pattern, borders where we have to start with, and all according to indicated on shop drawing. We must prepare shop drawing for this about distribution of these different kinds of interlocking blocks, reference to colors and shape. Possibly there could be decorative shapes. Everything is available, and how this move. We must first draw shop drawing, design it, and then follow it. Whatever design drawings are, whatever shop drawings are. First color, let us say gray color. Let us say only gray color interlock block we laid to position and profile to form border pattern or as agreed with engineer or whatever. Block should be laid in full, but at edges of obstacles such as inspection covers where cut blocks would be required. Whole blocks should be laid first wherever possible, and trimmable blocks or cuttable blocks exactly marked and cut to required size. After profile is well formed, approval is approved, fill in courses to border areas shall be carried out by laying red color blocks or whatever color. After sufficient blocks have been laid, sand bedding shall be carried out using a plate vibrator, pressing blocks to required level in two phases or two passes, covering entire area with each pass to make bedding even. Sand should be spread on surface of blocks with 2 number more vibrators passes applied and brushed under leading edge of vibrator to allow joints vibrated. And inspection shall be conducted by quality people, and we require plate compactor and then ITPs. This is very simple statement, but remember, statement could be simple, it's not very descriptive, there's not much testing or technical, but it impacts a lot because this is landscape job, and soon may settle or sink depending on rain or something. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to comply with all provisions for this external hard landscape work. I'm saying hard landscape because the hard item, soft can be grass, can be plantation, can be tree planting, and hard like interlocking blocks, curbstones, or you can say carriageway, structure road, or something else, doing sport surfacing on concrete base or this base, also like that, wherever you have to hide land, that's called landscape, can be hard as well as soft. Now we go to some other item, that's roadworks on driveway. Driveways, you know what is driveway. Objective of this brief statement is to outline procedures to be adopted to carry out roads works on driveways within building complex or around certain building. There's a subgrade, in roads subgrade and subbase, also prime coat, then base course, then tag coat, wearing course. These are some items, and this is very preliminary. I'm talking. Roads have changed their specification. Roads have been very advanced, but we are talking of normal roads. Yeah, subgrade 200 mm, for example. Let us say subbase class B 500, prime coat, base coat, like this. Just for purpose of method, I'm giving. It's not for technical specifications here. So what you should have? You should have development plan. You should have miscellaneous details, whatever you have, specifications of your project, and responsibilities are almost same as we talked in last. Same, there's no change in this. So we can go further. Safety is also same here, there's no change. Supervision. Now we talk of material, which is very important component. Approved subbase, whatever class we have, prime coat, tag coat, premix, bituminous binder coats, and wearing coats. Materials we supplied from approved central batching heating plant. Now what method we have to see? Say following sequences we are involved to do road work. Clearing implementation, prosecution of all services, works according to drawings and inspections. Approvals completed. Preparation of area to be road structured by removing topsoil, placing in imported fill material, profiling levels to project drawings, requirements, and compaction. So you can say preparation, you can say this is first we have to clear, then we have to check for all services works according to drawings, whatever utilities and services were required to be laid must be laid first. Then we have to prepare area for road structure to be laid. We have to remove topsoil. We have to place imported fill if required to bring this layer to structure specific requirements, and they give profile levels to this according to drawings in a compact. Applying pesticide if required. Generally anti-termite is most required. Applying pesticide treatment if so required. Application of all pre-work items. Such as construction of curbstone, as we discussed before. Complying with included section of requirement. Detail given on project drawing is very common and sensible. Then subbase class, whatever is given, material shall be spread on area, the subbase area in steps of required thickness, keeping more than design thickness by 25 mm, that is 150 plus 225 mm. Then subbase approved fill material. Subbase approved fill material to interlock class B material, which elate shall be spread on material and dry rolling carried out to produce correct profile of section. Water is sprayed on surface to have penetrate into around all whites of spread material and compaction by heavy roller started to compact whole course after required number of passes. After required number of passes, probably 6 given by 18 to 12 tons roller, made bringing down laid material to required thickness, that is 150 mm. We had taken more than that, so that is compressed one, and it was, as we said here, 25 mm. So this goes back to 150 mm after compression, compaction, exhibiting rebound on surface when further rolled. Compaction by rolling shall cease, means there's no use if this goes on rebound. No meaning of that. So stop compaction at that time. Density test be conducted all according to specifications and approved requirements of ITP. That's density test we have to conduct. Of course, compacted course shall be left for drying in due course, allowing it to be ready to receive prime coat, and that is MC1 by drying time shall not be less than 48 hours. Prior to start of prime coats spreading, all defects observed during visible inspection be repaired in rectangular or square pattern or as agreed with engineer. Asphalt concrete shall be laid in widths of driveway roads as indicated according to drawings. Wearing course thickness being 40 mm and that of dense bitumen being 80 mm. When we say wearing course 40 mm and approximately double of that is dense bitumen binder. Now paving work shall be carried out in 2 stages. Paving work shall be carried out in 2 stages. Yes, stage 1, laying and compacting bottom bituminous binder course. Stage 2, laying and compacting top wearing carriageway. So binder course and carriageway. 2 stages are the surface preparation. Sorry. Prior to application of dense bitumen, the binder course already laid and compacted aggregate base course shall be prepared suitable for this purpose. Base course should be corrected whatever deviations more than 13 mm from design profile at all points and not more than 9 mm in 3 meters. 9 mm in 3 meters on longitudinal grade at every location by either adding to or removing from surface deficient or redundant material respectively to bring surface to design shape, watered and compacted in accordance to specification, all as stated. Main operations. Following operations are involved: re-preparation of aggregate base course, surface with water and compaction by pneumatic roller, application of priming coat and drying out, Application of 60 thick dense binder course. So what is first one? Preparation of aggregate base course and compaction by pneumatic roller. The application of priming coat and drying out. Application of 60 thick dense binder course. Power broom application completed on dense binder course. Power broom application completed on dense binder course. Application of tack coat and drying out. Application of 40 thick bitumen concrete wearing. So there's a base course, can say there's a binder course and also wearing course. So prime coat, drying out, prime coat number 1. Dense binder course, that's 60 and power broom it and complete on dense binder course. Application of tack coat and drying out. Application of 40 thick bitumen concrete wearing course. All material be mixed, approved, calibrated and approved asphalt plant. All trucks and other equipment as included shall be readily available for inspection. Transportation. Material shall be transported from plant to plant location in good condition by trucks, cleaned off all foreign materials. You can't use dirty trucks, okay? And covered with tarpaulin to prevent dust invasion during inclement adverse weather conditions. So material shall be transported from plant to plant location in good condition by trucks, cleaned off all foreign material and covered with tarpaulin to prevent dust invasion during inclement adverse weather condition. It shall be ensured by obtaining observations using thermometer that material when laid is within 130 to 165 degrees Celsius. This is a big point. At what temperature your material should be 130 to 165 degrees Celsius. It shall be ensured by obtaining the observations using thermometer. The material when laid it confirms to be within 130 and 165 degrees Celsius. Application is now why coverage. You may have to say what is coverage, how much material is used for unit area. Prime coat is 0.8, you can see 0.8 to 1.4 liters per meter square prime coat. Tack coat is little less, about half, 0.4 to 0.7 liter per square meter. So prime coat and then tack coat. Prime coat is double, tack coat is half, can say quantity wise. Contractor inspection be conducted to ascertain correct profile of aggregate, base course and correction applied if so required. All surfaces planned to be primed shall be barricaded and cleaned of all dirt and all objectionable materials. Bituminous material be applied evenly on dry surface by means of a pressure distributor, spray tanker within a temperature range 30 degrees to 70 degrees Celsius. Again I say, bituminous material is to be applied evenly on dry surface by means of a pressure distributor, spray tanker within a temperature range 30 degrees to 70 degrees Celsius. Binding course. Binder course. Now, contractor inspection shall be conducted prior to commencement of binder course, laying to make sure that surface is satisfactorily clean, well dried even to specified priming conditions, and to receive binder course. Material upon arrival at its location to be spread and struck off to prepared profile by means of self-powered spreading and finishing equipment attached with a strike-off assembly distributing mixture to strip 3 meter wide. I repeat this. Inspection to be conducted first prior to commencement of binder course to make sure that surface is satisfactorily clean, well dried to specified priming conditions, and to receive binder course. Material upon arrival to site shall be spread and struck off to prepared profile by means of cell-powered spreader and finishing equipment attached to the strike-off assembly, distributing mixture to a strip 3 meter wide. Now rolling. Steel rollers number passes 6 to 8 depending on surface condition. 10-ton capacity roller equipped with adjustable wheel scraps, water tanks and sprinkling apparatus to keep wheel sufficiently wet to prevent bituminous mixture from sticking to steel surface. What says? It says that to keep wheel sufficiently wet to prevent bituminous mixture from sticking to steel surface shall be employed to roll profiled material immediately after material is laid to acceptable profile to prevent formation of undue displacement or hair cracking. Roller wheel. Roller wheels be kept properly moistened without excess water or oil, and rolling be commenced from side and proceed towards center, sides to center, each strip overlapping previous strip by at least 300 mm strip, with keeping overlap is 300 mm, with keeping alternate trip not more than 5 km per hour. 5 km per hour, keeping alternate trip not more than 5 km per hour, and it shall continue until surface is achieved. So achieved impression free. So when the surface achieved is impression free. Mechanical compactors like jumpers shall be engaged to compact roller in accessible layers. Pneumatic tire roller shall be engaged only after compaction by wheel roller is over. It is significant to make sure that asphalt temperature does not fall below 80 degrees Celsius prior to full compaction is achieved. Rollers shall not pass over edges of freshly laid material generally. Rollers shall not pass over edges of freshly laid material generally, except when edge is located at discontinuation for that day. So, a roller should not pass over edges of freshly laid material generally, except when edge is located at discontinuation for that day. Quality inspection be conducted throughout above operations to make sure the material is compacted to standards and temperature remains within limits mentioned, as well as levels are maintained within specification to tolerances, particularly over areas involving shoulders. At commencement of work on area involving compacted and chilled edge, a bevel shall be cut out, cleaned, and tack coat applied to receive adjoining materials. No traffic shall be permitted until 12 hours are over post-rolling completion. Wearing course. This was binder course, now wearing course. Land surface shall be cleared of all dust and dirt using a power broom or blowing. Tack coat shall be applied to specification requirement. Immediately upon arrival, material shall be spread and rolled. Similarly, as described in above explanation, contractor QC inspection shall be conducted throughout above operations to make sure the material is compacted to standards and temperature remains within limits mentioned as well as levels are maintained within specification tolerances. Equipment, major equipment required for binder course and then for bearing course. What actually do we need for binder course? We require central mixing asphalt plant. Of course, one number, whatever numbers we can, just indicative it is one number. Trucks, one number, 38 tons capacity each. Could be more depending on quantity. Pavers, one number. Paver, one number, and one number with 6 meter per cube. With 6 meter or 3 meter wide blades. Paver with blades 6 meter and 3 meter. Steel wheel tandem roller, one number. 10 ton capacity, one number. 15 ton capacity. Pneumatic tired roller, pneumatic tire. This was steel wheel tandem. This is pneumatic tire. Tire inflatable at 0.62 MPa. That is one number 38 ton and one number 20 ton. This is pneumatic tire roller, more heavier than roller, steel roller. This is pressure is 0.62 MPa, and one 38 tons and one number 20 tons. Air compressor, asphalt cutting machine, plate compactor, jumping jack compactor, spray tanker. So what are, again we say, we require central mixing plant, trucks, paver, steel wheel, tandem rollers, pneumatic tire rollers, air compressor, asphalt cutting machine, plate compactor, jumping jack compactor, spray tanker. Additionally required for wearing course, power broom and vacuum cleaner. Power broom and vacuum cleaner. Now ITP is available, it's not given here, just you can make whatever ITP. Now we are going to do some other work, and that is this reinforcement placement, preparatory work for that. Preparatory work for preparatory work pertaining to reinforcement placement. Purpose of this statement is to define procedure that shall be adopted for carrying out preparatory works pertinent to reinforcement placement on site for all elements. Reference document. Reference document. Drawings, concrete general specifications, that is drawings, and concrete general specifications, structural drawings, and contractors produce bar bending schedule document to 4466 BS or 8466 BS. Responsibilities. Responsibilities regarding supervising personnel on site should be according to project approved quality plan. That is a standard statement. Project leader shall arrange all fabricated materials, binding wires, scaffold, safety related items, manpower workforce for item, and direct engineer, site engineer and foreman to resort appropriate action for smooth execution of item. Site leader engineer shall direct labor or rebar foreman charge hand for correct application, all according to design and details. Place fabricated as well as well on site cut as well as on site cut or cut to site reinforcing bars in conjunction with project leader. Quality inspector, quality engineer shall involve roll physically during placement and check assembled reinforcing bars, all complying with or be in line according to drawings and details. Safety personnel shall monitor and implement all HSC and environmental precautions. All persons involved imparted toolbox, all workers involved shall be imparted toolbox stock for activities concerned and use PPE as well as other required specific equipment whenever necessary. Material. Material. All fabricated reinforcing bars shall be taken from fabrication yard, steel fabrication yard on site location for placement. And in general, on industrial projects, practice of fabrication reinforcing bars off-site is made to contract condition or keeping working site tidy as well as to avoid safety hazard risks. Generally, you can shift or transport this material, fabricated material from that fabrication yard to our site. Method. Relevant reinforcement bars. Spacer blocks, reinforcement bars, spacer blocks, chairs, stirrups, and tie wire shall be collected from stores as well as fabrication yard and made available at work site. Material shall be stored at work site in accordance with storage procedure pertaining to fabricated and non-fabricated reinforcing bars. Current revision of reinforcement drawing that applies to structure. Current revision of reinforcement drawing as applied to structures being constructed shall be checked by project leader, site engineer, quality for validity. Only updated drawings shall be used on site. Steel fixers shall place and tie reinforcement bars and accessories in accordance with current reinforcement drawing under direct supervision of reinforcing bar foreman. Particular attention, the following items shall be monitored by charge hand, steel fixer and foreman. Adequate lap length of bars and wire, tie wire protrusions into concrete areas. Protrusions should be in to non-cover areas. Appropriate concrete cover or spacer to formwork and outside faces. Placement of adequate support chairs and straps rings. Spacing of bars. Tie up wires at all junctions. Site leader, charge hand, steel for fixer foreman shall check fabricated placed reinforcement when all placement of reinforcement bars being complete. Result of this inspection shall be recorded upon pre-concrete inspection checklist by site leader. Foreman steel fixer shall ensure that lead steel fixer shall ensure that reinforcement has been correctly placed prior to informing site leader and QC. Quality leader shall check all items of different shape, spacing and numbers, spacer blocks, additional chairs if so required. Should some inserts, conduits, pipes, bolts, etc. are require fixing within structure, within structure according to design details or shop drawings. Steel fixing foreman shall arrange for placement of these items according to directions given by project engineers or project leader. What says shoot some inserts. If you have to fix some inserts, conduits, pipes, bolts that require fixing within structure according to design details or shop drawings. A steel fixer foreman or leader shall arrange for placement of these items according to directions indicated. And when such inserts pertain to services, pertinent services, foreman or engineer shall work out inserts placements and arrange such inserts within preparatory works. Where a reinforcement bar clashes with such items based on decision of engineer, project or site engineer, steel fixer shall move relevant bars as instructed by company engineer. An additional bar may be required to offset this moved bar. Should a doubt arise about moving bars, charge and shall inform foreman and site engineer to resolve this issue with company engineer. Foreman shall inform site engineer. Foreman shall inform site engineer when these activities are complete. Quality shall inspect. QC shall inspect reinforcing bars placed in structure for compliance with design drawing and details as well as other working and shop drawings. Company inspection shall be conducted based on QA recommendation after complete checking. Major equipment, appropriate material transportation arrangement to work location. This is appropriate material transportation arrangement to work location. Generally trailers are used, lifting arrangements are used, and checklist you have to see yourself. This was brief on steel procedures. Now we have to pour concrete. That is, you can say, very significant work, because pouring concrete means permanent work. Pouring concrete means permanent work, for which we did everything. We provided scaffolding support, we provided formwork, we provided steel reinforcement, we provided inserts, services, but final product is concrete, which can be removed only by God. Pouring. Purpose of this statement is to define procedure that shall be adopted for pouring of concrete into various elements of structures such as foundations, step columns, ground beams, grade slab, superstructural columns, beams and suspended slabs. Superstructure for namesake only, this is structure after all. Foundation is also structure, step columns, ground beams are also structure. So beams and suspended slabs, stairs, boundary walls required to be included on certain normal structures of residential, commercial and institutional use. Documents could be drawings, concrete general specifications, all structural drawing contract documents and specifications, whatever applicable, responsibilities regarding supervision, Supervising personnel on site shall be according to project approved quality plan. Project leader shall arrange concrete from batching plant. Project leader shall arrange concrete from batching plant. Scaffolding temporary access to site requirement means batching plant, concrete from batching plant, then scaffolding, temporary access to site requirement, safety related items, workforce, crew for item, and direct site leader to resort appropriate action for smooth execution of item. Site leader shall direct foreman charge hand for correct application of course, all according to specification and convention in conjunction with project leader. Site engineer shall be physically available to control power. Quality engineer shall involve physically during pouring and check slump, temperature, air volume, all according to agreed procedure, codes and specification requirement. We have to read it, it's a very important para. Project leader shall arrange concrete from batching plant, right? Arrange scaffolding, arrange temporary access to site requirement, arrange safety related items, and arrange for workforce for item and direct leaders to resort appropriate action for smooth execution of item. Site engineer shall direct foreman charge hand for correct application of force. Say direct site engineer and foreman to resort appropriate action for smooth execution of work. Site engineer shall direct foreman charge hand for correct application of force, all according to demanded specification and convention in conjunction with project leader. Site engineer shall be physically available to control power, and quality engineer shall involve physically during pouring and check slump, temperature and air voids. Then we can go to safety. Safety is also very important in concrete. Safety engineer or officer shall monitor and implement all health, safety and environment along with good ergonomic precaution. All persons involved shall be imparted with toolbox talk for activities concerned and using PPE and other equipment whenever necessary. Proper structural system scaffolding be arranged for form work. Proper temporary work platform including platform scaffolding shall be arranged for form work. Now material, it's not only temporary work platforms but also temporary staircase to reach there, and also railing around three sides of platform. Then you can say access ladders, access routes to remotest areas. We have to be careful about that. At high rise, we have to care about high level work. We have to be careful with that. It's not simple one place. We have to think of GGBS addition to cement. We have to be careful about. Then we go to all safety measures we have to take, and then we have to worry about material. 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 Just move some fan for 5 minutes. Material, we need ready-mix material, ready-mix concrete from ready-mix plant, whatever grade we require, which is approved one. Approved concrete repair compound for post-pour repair, if so necessary. This is just in provision. Method. Method is very important. Supply order for estimated quantity may be placed in advance. Supply order for estimated quantity may be placed in advance, but real confirmation to be done based on pour approval after inspection of preparatory works pertaining to involved pourable element, namely footings, stubs, columns, suspended slabs, etc., and relevant approval by company. Order for release of concrete from batching plant shall be placed. Batching plant shall be explicitly instructed about batch specifications in full. Plant manager shall also be requested to visit site for self-appraisal of situation. Required quantity shall be sequenced depending on consumption frequency on site. Concrete shall be poured either by concrete pump or by mobile crane depending on necessity and convenience. Necessary access to location. Necessary access to location shall be prepared using proper supports or platforms duly inspected by safety leader. Immediately at arrival of truck, mixer of concrete on site, slump, temperature, air voids, etc. All tests on site conducted. All to on-site testing specifications, procedures, requirements shall be taken care of by ready-mix supplier in presence of QA. And say in case concrete doesn't meet, what I said before, immediately by arrival of concrete mix of concrete on site, slump, temperature, avoids, etc. All to on-site testing, specification, procedure requirement be taken care of by ready-mix supply in presence of quality and company engineer. In case concrete doesn't meet specification requirements, truckload shall be liable to be rejected. Arrangement shall also be made for filling of concrete cubes on site to specification requirements according to standard procedures should be after truck is approved by quality, the company has to be transported to site location where pump equipment shall receive concrete and Now, in case concrete doesn't meet specific requirements, truck load shall be liable to be rejected. Arrangement shall also be made for filling of concrete cubes on site to specification requirement according to standard procedure and compliance to standard procedure. After truck is approved by quality, it has to be transported to site location where pump equipment shall receive concrete load and pump out. Okay. After truck is approved, company has to transport site location where pump equipment shall receive concrete load and pump out delivery into delivery location. The concrete layout, concrete laying gang or crew already present on site location shall receive and pour concrete mix into prepared elements from not more than 2 meter height of truck to avoid segregation. As soon as enough mix is available in element to compact mix conventionally, insertion nozzle vibrator shall be used by a trained operator to compact mix till no more bubbles appear. Vibrator shall not be allowed to touch forms, sides or reinforcing bars. Vibrator shall not be allowed to touch forms, or form side you can say, or vibrator shall be allowed to reach form sides or reinforcing bars. Over vibration shall not be permitted. Each footing shall be poured in one go, if not more than 500 mm in dia. Widened portion of stub. Now, this volume, can we hold it? Okay, yes, I'll put the fan on. I'm feeling hot. Fan on. Feeling hot with it. 20 degrees. Suffocation. Feel suffocation now. Okay. Sorry. So, over vibration shall not be permitted. Each footing shall be poured in one go, if not more than 500 mm thick. Widened portion of stub in touch with soil shall also be poured in strip. Widened portion of stub in touch with soil shall also be poured in strips not more than 450 mm depth. Into columns, walls, mixed depth at one rotation shall be 450 mm. And in different steps, vertically, pouring shall be completed, avoiding formation of cold joints. Top level of concrete shall be leveled. Top level of concrete, or top point of concrete, you may say, shall be leveled. Top point of concrete, top surface of concrete shall be leveled, and columns or lift well wall form top covered with plastic sheet. Column or lift wall means at top, because on sides there are shutters already forms, so that shall be covered, that is top covered with plastic sheet. Portion of pipe chute shall be inserted into column. You can say pipe boom chute, I should say. Portion of concrete pump chute pipe shall be inserted into column. Preparatory works to allow for a 1.5 to 2 meter maximum vertical fall. Vertical forms of columns shall be stuck after 48 hours. Inspection shall be made immediately post form striking, and certain defect observed in concrete would be brought to company engineer's notice for deciding whatever remedial action may be approved. Vertical surface shall be covered with saturated Hessian, further covered with polythene sheet, or alternatively curing compound be sprayed over water wet surface to form a impermeable membrane, not to permit evaporation. I'll explain this again. The grade slab shall be poured in one go in depth baywise between ground beams. For suspended slabs, beams shall be poured first around the slab, and prior to formation of cold joints, slab concrete shall be poured and whole slab completed. Joints, if so required and not indicated on drawings, be agreed in beginning of pour with engineer. Water shall be spread over foam during hot weather prior to pouring, to avoid flash setting of concrete with reinforcing bars. In case some plant's breakdown is reported, immediately last pour line shall be stopped by installing a stop end formed surface arrangement to terminate concrete pour at that point, and in no way shall pour recommence prior to 24 hours lapses without further approval obtained. In such case, previous formed joints shall be scabbled or hacked to expose all aggregate by removing latents completely. Then I can say due care shall be taken that no spacers, electric conduits or any other insert is disturbed from its design or work location. If so disturbed, it shall be immediately relocated according to company engineer site approval. Immediately after complete compaction of concrete is over and concrete starts setting in, arrangements for applying finish, you may call it human finish, to top of slab surface shall be done by timber tempering. So by timber U1 finishes in line to specification of Qatar. It's not your specification. U1 is Qatar specification, just I'm referring to that. That chapter is 5, which states finish by wooden float. Some cases may require power float after wooden finish is complete. Immediate curing shall be applied by spreading polythene sheet cover on wet slabs and footings. Then after about 2 hours, polythene sheet shall be withdrawn temporarily and saturated patient placed over concrete, then recovered with polythene sheet and concrete cured for specified period, probably 7 to 14 days, depending on defined specifications. Curing compound suits curing purpose. Curing compound suits curing purpose only during initial stages on slabs to prevent cracking formation, but later water curing is required. Curing compound is either wax based or water based that works to 60% effective extent only, while water works to near equivalent laboratory conditions. If so, repair to hardened concrete is required. Approved repair material shall be used according to manufacturer's instructions. What equipment we need? Batching plant, transit mixers or trucks, mobile crane, tower crane, probably, vibrators, curing compound, sprayer, power float, and quality check forms and all that. We'll come back, I'll be back here and we'll talk again about this. This is very important procedure. Concrete pour is very, very important procedure and we must worry about this. Pouring concrete. Let me go, gentlemen, come back. Just a minute, please. I'll take 5, 10, 15 minutes maximum, maybe 5 minutes. And I'll discuss in details about pouring concrete because this is very, very important item. It's very important item and this is only written I have explained, but we'll see further ins and outs. We'll see further complications on this, how best to do it. And we'll take some reference in past also about what was done. And this is a really interesting one note. I'm back. Okay, good. Start this. Alright. If I can do, I'll do it now. Okay. So dear, I'm sorry, little time I took, kept you waiting. What to do? This was some responsibility on my head, and I did that. Pouring concrete. I was talking of here. I talked of this, but here, what I to say that here what I said, that was method, and method is long one, though it's not very long, but considerably long. So because I'm considering various points in that, various elements in that. Just 38 points, not big one, but there could be 100 points also, many 100 points as well, we can say there could be. So I don't think there's any problem on this. Let us understand one by one what we actually do, and how best it is to understand what should be done in this case. Let's think that way. Say, supply order for estimated quantity may be placed in advance, but real confirmation to be done based on pour approval. This is what is said here. We can compute quantity from drawings and we can place order, but remember, quantities if you take from drawing, it's okay, fine. You can't take from site, that's professional work, you can do it. But there is a steel element also. So a little difference is required for purpose of quantity placement order. Quantity order placement, no, it's not estimation. We are doing placement of order. So you can say generally it's not some, you can say about a small quantity is reduced from actual quantification, that is for steel, and maybe 1%, you can say 2%, not more than that, hardly 1%. Let us say if in 1 cubic meter of concrete there's about 150 kilogram on an average, 150 kilogram of steel is inserted in, which means what's volume, that you can find by dividing density using density formula, and that much quantity can be expected to be placed. Lesser than that, if you deduct that quantity, but doesn't matter. Let's see, just place an order, confirmation will do later on. Now after inspection is done, inspection for all preparatory work is done. Preparation scaffolding is very much important, of course you are responsible for that. Then form work, all accesses, safety, etc., etc. After all inspections are conducted, instructions pertinent preparatory works and other works, whatever are involved for purpose of pouring element. Now there could be many elements like footings. Footings means complete foundation. It could be footings, it could be straps, it could be beam frame foundation, it could be raft, or whatever, combined footing, whatever is your design, that's I'm covering on all footings. Then there are two steps also. Steps, columns means that portion of column which remains surrounded by, which remains embedded in soil, that portion of column below ground level. How many columns could be there? It depends. And this generally we call them step columns, means from foundation to plinth level or ground. There could be other columns above ground. There could be walls, shear walls. There could be other walls. There could be plinth beams, or people call them something else, columns, beams, walls. Then there could be fascia as well, fascia, finishes, fins, which are very complicated of course, but all these constitute or concrete. There could be then, such you can say, there can be then a framework of a independent framework of monolithic casting expected to be there, that is downstands of beams and slab, suspended slab, as well as there should be upstand beams as well, and also there is staircase which is also very important item in this staircase. It comprises of waste slab, floor beam, landing beam, generally downs, upstands, and framing beams. Staircase, very complicated item, but very important item. Suspended slab, etc. And relevant approval by whoever is responsible. Order for release of concrete from batching plant be placed. That's for all. You cannot place order for all these items. I'm just trying to refer to you. Whatever of these items be, you have to place order accordingly. Now, batching plant must be explicitly instructed about batch specifications in full. It's your duty as an engineer to instruct batching plant where this concrete would go. It's go in foundation, or in walls, or in stubs, or in columns, or in slabs, or in blinding, wherever it has to go, because you have already provided specifications to that plant. How much slump it should be, what should be grade. Grade can be explained, it can be given. I need this grade of concrete, this is slump I need, you can say, and some chemical requirement. You can say I want this admixture be, means like that, grade, specification you can give. If you especially want, or your batching plant knows, fine, it's okay. But you don't forget that batching plant is not merely for you. It delivers concrete, supplies concrete to various clients like you. So, batching plant shall be explicitly instructed about batch specifications in details. Plant manager or plant organizer may also be requested to visit site for self-appraisal of situation, not from quality point of view, but from access point of view, where pump is required or not required, whether, or its pump, how many pumps are required, what boom length of pump is required, what is access to site, where several transfer mixers, how many transfer mixers may required, what speed of concrete, like that. Circulation means clear picture should be there so that time is not wasted. We don't want a stage that concrete is delivered, truck reaches at site, pump reaches site, but person on site is not ready to receive, or the station pump and to receive concrete. This situation must be avoided. That's called professionalism. Otherwise, it's layman activity, layperson activity. You can say, if you don't think all this, time is important. Remember, when pump comes in, it must not waste time, and when transfer mixers of concrete site, they should not waste time. After all, this is concrete. This is not something that we should not care for. Then this is required quantity shall be sequenced depending on consumption frequency on site. Whatever many hundreds cubic meter concrete you have to receive that day, what should be frequency of each transfer mixer may get to 8 cubic meter or 9 cubic meter or 6 cubic meter, depending upon what should be speed of ready mix trucks. This could be every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, every half an hour, depending how much speed you can consume with. And you can say different elements consume differently. If it's foundations, you may cast 10 foundations, 15 foundations together. You can't cast one foundation. It's question of practical aspect. Means you can't say I want one cubic meter of concrete for foundation. This can be transmitted. That's not practically admissible. So maybe you are ready with 15 foundations, 20 foundations, 25 foundations, 50 foundations, depending on size of work. So you can place order like this. I want so many foundations to be cast. I want so many columns to be cast. Where as what moves I want these walls to be cast. Means accordingly your transport would be provided many foundation casts with fast work. Of course, you may change position of pump, but that's possible. Or you may cast, you can say column takes time. It's very difficult to get pump, and machine plant supply is limited in this case because quantity in columns is not that extensive. Similarly, quantity in walls or stubbs is too low. And while you consider, slab, one thing is slab which could be 300, 400, 500 cubic meter. In that case, if you are strong, you can get faster transfer mixers. Every 10 minutes to 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes interval. You can go vacate this empty, just empty in 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and go back after washing. So that point is to be comfort with, is to be deliberated, and that plant organizer must know about that, what speed is required. So required quantity shall be sequenced depending on consumption frequency on site, estimation of that. And concrete shall be poured either by concrete pump or by mobile crane depending on necessity and convenience. Generally, small quantity can be done by crane, mobile crane or tower crane if it is within reach of tower crane or mobile crane, because every time you can't get pump just for few cubic meter of concrete, because they will supply to other persons also. And of course, when you are going to use different grades of concrete in certain elements, then it's a big question mark for machine plant, because they have to stop and do again according to requirement. Necessary action to location shall be prepared using proper supports. Necessary access to location shall be prepared using proper supports or platforms, duly inspected by safety in charge. So access to location is very important from working point of view, not from concrete point of view, from how to access there, because people have to walk up, you have to walk up. Access should be fine, very good, professional, though temporary, but it should be safe. Working platform should be safe. It must be inspected by every safety personnel, yourself itself. So access should be safe, freely, without any obstruction. Immediately, arrival of truck mix of concrete site, slump test must be conducted, temperature must be checked, air voids must be ascertained, all to on-site testing. Specification procedure requirement shall be taken care of. You have to take care of while testing what are specifications applicable for that, and taken care of by rhythmic supplier in presence of quality and company engineer. So it says immediately arrival of truck mixer of concrete at site. What we have to do, we have to take care of slum, we have to check slum, what is defined, how much range it is. It could be in, you can say, pumping up to 120, in some cases 150 mm, in case of crane to 75 mm, and in case of blind to 50 mm, something like that. It depends, variation. What's temperature, less than 32 degrees Celsius and more than 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. How many air voids are there, and all to on-site testing. Specification and procedure requirements are taken care of by ready-mix supplier in presence of quality engineer and yourself. In case concrete doesn't meet specification requirement, truckload shall be liable to be rejected. Arrangement shall also be made for filling of concrete cubes or taking cubes in molds 150 by 150 mm on site to specification requirement in line to standard procedures. After truck is approved by quality company and yourself, has to be transferred to site location to deliver to pump out crane where pump requirement is located, shall receive concrete loads and pump out. Delivery into in situ delivery location. It may use of pump or use of crane, use of tower crane, whatever it's. Concrete laying gang, concrete laying crew already present at site locations shall receive a pour concrete mix into prepared elements from not more than 2 meter height of drop. It depends upon, means what's your method statement, what methods we are using for whatever mix, that statement must be complied with. You cannot simply just say on one element, every element is different, and you have to understand how to do that. Not only you have to understand, your crew should understand, the foreman should understand, or whoever is there responsible, general foreman possibly, or those people who use vibrator, they should know what's best way to use vibrator is. They must be given training, and as soon as enough mix is available in element compact mix conventionally, insertion of the vibrator shall be used by trained operator to compact mix till no more bubbles appear. It's very important to remember that you can't play with concrete. When you pour concrete, we have a limitation. You have a column of say 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, you can't fill it continuously without vibration. And say you have filled 4 meter, how will you vibrate? Question is that. There is no external linear vibrator. Only way is you have to make sure what is nozzle depth, nozzle length. It may be 400, it may be less, it may be more. Accordingly, you have to plan, you have to use a vibrator, and you have to fill layer. Then in vertical members, you have to fill in layers. Let us say 450 mm, vibrate it, again 450 mm, vibrate it, again 450 vibrate it. So in 3 layers you can see you have gone up to more than 1 meter. Hold on, go to other column, then go to another column. That repeats same. This happens in columns. While foundation is concerned, foundation is hardly more than 450 mm. Very few cases may be there, so you can just pour in one go if you wish. No problem. Pour full and vibrate. Same applies combined footing as well. Of course, raft. Raft could be 450, 50, 300 beams and raft. That way, it has to be cast as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And of course, the speed of casting raft is much more than columns. So you can demand for fast frequency of concrete delivery. Slab also, if it's well done, it's good. It's also fast delivery. And but only controls are required. Walls are never very fast. Same thing as columns. Means you have to in layers you have to do. Like the stub is most slowest element of casting. So these points we must keep in mind. Stair too is very, very slow, because quantity of quantity of concrete stair is very slow in wasteless labors and steps and landing itself. And accordingly, you can say we have to analyze every item. We have to analyze and how to do that to be decided. And that's what I'm saying. Concrete is a technology, and we have to understand this, that this is pour. Let's go see layers, you'll find that as soon as enough mix is available in the element, compact conveniently, insertion nozzle vibrator shall be used by trained operator to compact, make still no more bubbles appear. Vibrator shall not be allowed to touch forms, sides or reinforcing bars. Over-aeration is prohibited, it's not permitted, because it will result in segregation and many other problems. Each footing shall be poured in one go, if not more than 500 mm in depth. Widened portion of stub in touch with soil shall also be poured, and strips not more than 450 mm deep. Into columns, walls, max depth at one rotation shall be 450 mm maximum, and in different steps. Vertically, pouring shall be completed, avoiding formation of cold joints. I'll show you some example of this. Just an example I'll show. Into lift well walls, max depth at one rotation shall be 450 mm, and in different steps. Vertically, pouring shall be completed, avoiding formation of cold joints. Top of concrete shall be leveled, and columns lift well wall form top covered with plastic sheet. Portion of pipe shoot, let me see, just we can find strength that's not available exactly. I don't know it's available immediately there, I have to find this. Let me go and see if I can do it. Let me try. It's also, I think I should first close these files. Unnecessary, some files are open. I want to close them because this won't serve me for purpose there. Let us see that. At least this I close, and I'll try to go there for some other file. Let's see how it works. I think I should go to my birthday, and this is here. Order is management. So I wanted to show you something. What was that? Method statement. Which one is this? I don't think it's there. It must not be here. It's somewhere here. Where's that? Lift form. Let us see what's lift form. Okay, you can see lift form. This I can show you here. I see it is view of lift form. Lift form it is, and I can see it's like that. Alright, no problem, it's gone wrong. And like that, you can see, yes, problem is things. It's like that. So this is lift form, you can see. Again, I'm showing you this. This is your lift. Well, as door for entry. This is cut around this elevation of lift. One elevation, this all over this way. This is door, wide door. This door is a wide now. Form of wide, no concrete should go in this door portion. And this pouring platform inside, lift pit, and this lift pit. So you can see this batten scandalings, and this wall very heavy on this wall here. They have to pour in this. That was to say we should know how to pour it. Well, I'm just reflecting to you. This is detail how we have to pour it, how to make it. And also I will say this is one lift, other one is, I think, let me see if I can find that completion. Foot form. I'll show you formwork also. Some is case of foot form only. It's this one, it's like that, you can say it's like this, that these are sides, these are forms here, and we can use this type of shutters forms. This is from that point of view. I'll put it off just for information. I'll show you this. And also you can say if I can find that sketch I'm looking after, it's not available here. But sketches and building sewer, pump, culvert, ducting, water reservoir, manhole, foot form, plant layout, slab support, wall form, CCB, substation, lift form, sectional tank. I don't think I have here. I'm just somewhere else. Methods of mass block concrete sequence sketch, raft concrete. So mass block concrete is here. Mass block concrete is here. You can't see that otherwise. Let me open it and make immediately I'll make one print of this so that you can really understand what I'm talking of. I think it's coming in, print is coming out, and it's okay. So you can see it immediately now. This is that. You can see what I'm talking is. You can see this is a plan, for example, concrete plan. This is plan here. This is a foundation, big foundation. This is about 2 meters deep. If you see elevation of this section, this I think this is how many meters? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 meters. Let us say 20 meters by height is this width is maybe 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 by 20. 2 meters width. We have to pour this. How to do this? This is what you see. We want to pour, say pump location is here, concrete truck is here. 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 Pump location is here, tanker is here. Concrete truck is here, pump location is there. And this way it goes from that location, it comes this way. It goes this way from this location, this location, and same here and same here. So this is indicative statement. We have to pour this now. We cannot pour in one mass. We cannot move like this. Okay, I take here, go all the way. No, that's not possible. We have to program it, and it's like that. You see here. This is vertical section of that. And I put for 5 strips and 2 meters width of each strip. In this case, you can see this is 20, so there are 10. 2 meters wide, 10 strips and 50 strips are there. You see 50 lay strips are there. One at this corner, 50 at this corner. Then 20 to the top and 31 here. So it goes 1, 2 lay, 3 lay, 4 lay. We cannot go that we put in, no, it's not like that. So we have sequenced it out in a way that your flow moves like this, flow moves like this. So 1 here, 2 here, back to 3 here, 4 here, back to 5 here and 6 here, back to 7 here and 8 here, back to 9 here and 9 here and 10 here, 10 here, like that, 10 here, 11 here and 12 here. Then you can say 13 here and 14 here, 13 here and then 14 here, and then 15 here, 15 here and then 16 here. Like this, you have to move in different sequences so that cold joints are avoided. That was purpose of that. How much frequency you have to get your program completely here. What is size of frequency or what people, how many people you need, masonry, how many you need, helpers you need, carpenters you need, how many trucks you need, 60 truck strips at 8 cubic meter, and GGBS concrete, you can say. And this is what we have to say, order like this. That's the purpose of sketch I try to show you. So I close this. This is indirect means you are going in this sequence as a step. This is called generally trades. This is called steps casting there. So I take it off now, and I also take it off now. So this purpose is also over. So now we move on to same process we are dealing with here, and that is this. So what say portion of pipe shoot? Portion of pipe shoot, that is pipe shoot. I am saying pipe shoot means boom end. That should mean maybe rubber pipe or another dia pipe goes down and shall be such so that maximum drop is 1.5 to 2 meter from concrete to pump boom or pump pipe. Vertical forms of column shall be struck after 48 hours. That's something else now. That's whenever you remove some shutter from wherever. Generally, slab is not that critical here. Horizontal member it is. Otherwise, particularly in columns and walls, where you stuck out from both ends. Though expect honeycombing, you can expect voids, you can expect something, porosity, you can expect segregation, you can expect everything. Says inspection be conducted for that. Do not run away. After shuttering is struck, formwork is struck, inspections should be conducted immediately, and if some defects are seen, observed, should be taken care of, should be reported to person responsible for decision, and we have to make some proposal what we shall do. Vertical surfaces to be covered with saturation after everything is done. We have to apply chemical something means once it's done. So it's immediately done, even then it's not done by that time. Continue curing. Here vertical surface shall be covered with Haitian. Further covered with polythene sheet. Alternatively curing amount shall be sprayed over water surface to form an impermeable membrane not to permit operation. That is general procedure of curing in hot weather conditions. Then same way, how shall we pour grade slab? It's written one go on base. Grade slab shall poured in one go in depth wise between ground beams. For suspended slabs, beam shall be poured after board. Beam shall be poured first around slab and prior to formation of cold joint. Slab concrete shall be poured and whole slab completed. Whole slab completed. क्या होता है साले को छूटी रोज फोन करता है फालतू की तरह. Not going to call this one nonsense. This one is okay. So what I say is disturb for nothing, no problem. Now grade slab, you can say grade slab shall be poured in one go in depth bay-wise between ground beams. And for suspended slabs, you can say beam shall be poured first around slab, and prior formation of cold joints, slab concrete shall be poured. Now, why we say for suspended slab beams be poured first? But beams be poured first, but you can say never ever try to directly pour beams because pressure from concrete pump is extensive. It can strike shutter, it can do something. It's better to receive that concrete on edges of beam, near edges of beam, and later on pour into that beam from that portion gradually, so that your shuttering chances of particular beam sides are prone to open by force of this concrete. So better be practical. It doesn't make any difference, it's same. It's particularly in suspended slab downstand beams I'm talking of. So take care of that. Don't help beams open. It's in your interest. For suspended slabs, beams shall be poured first around wave slab, and prior to formation of cold joints, slab concrete shall be poured, and whole slab completed. Now joints, if so required, not indicated on drawings, shall be agreed in beginning of pour with company engineer. That is joints, if so required. If not indicated in drawing, shall begin beginning of pour. That's construction joints I'm talking. Water shall be sprayed over form during hot weather prior to pouring to avoid flash settings of concrete. I explained before also. It's very hot sometimes, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. Though there should be no preference to concrete. But if you are doing concrete with ice water, you are carrying everything, then what you do, chances of flash setting are very common. Surface of steel bars is hot, that could be 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. Surface of form that if they are steel forms could be same, and concrete may be not more than 32. Say it is 25. Let us say 25 temperature of concrete, and temperature of steel is 50 degrees. Double. There are few chances where concrete comes in contact with the hot surface of steel, it shall be adversely impacted upon, and that setting of steel will be hot and flash setting is not acceptable. And also cold joints are not acceptable. Flash setting is also not acceptable. In case now what happens? Only way to come out of this problem is to pour water on all surfaces before doing concrete, so that temperature is minimized to the extent where comfortable this is concrete. Concrete is welcome then. In such case, what happens? We don't want cold joints as well, as we give you process of pouring in steps on that drawing. Step pouring its purpose is to avoid cold joints. In such case, previous form joints shall be scabbled, hacked to expose all aggregate. By removing latents completely, there's construction joint. Washed with cement slurry and new concrete pour commenced, making proper bond with old concrete. That's the purpose of that. After that, due care shall be taken that no spacers, electric conduits, or any other insert is disturbed from its design or work location. If so disturbed, it shall be immediately relocated. It shall be immediately relocated according to company engineer's approval. That is, spacers, you can say due care shall be taken for spacers, electrical conduits, or any other insert disturbed from its design or work location. It shall be immediately relocated according to company. Immediately after compaction of concrete is over and concrete starts setting in, arrangements for applying required finish be done. And if required, you can say power float or wooden float, whatever. Apply wooden float if required. Then also if required, power float. Some cases may require power float. Alright. Immediate curing shall be applied by spraying polythene sheet cover over wet slabs and footings. After about 2 hours, polythene sheet will be removed. Sheet will be withdrawn temporarily and saturated adhesion placed over concrete, then followed by recovered polythene sheet and after ST, when I was talking of sheet cover, and then we have to at saturated adhesion, we do that and recover with sheet, and then continue curing 7 to 14 days depending upon our specifications. Curing compound suits curing purpose, does curing compound suits curing purpose only during initial stages on slabs to prevent cracking formation, but later on water curing is a must. Now, curing compound is either wax-based or water-based that works to 60% effective extent. That's water-based works 60%, while water works to be nearly equivalent to laboratory conditions. If to repair the hardened concrete is required, approved spare material shall be used. Now, this again I say, this curing compound, which is water-based, is partly effective, but it is purposeful because it doesn't need any treatment before doing plaster or render. But when it's wax-based, and wax is not decomposed fully, and you do not know because you are not chemical engineer, and as well as this depends on mechanical engineers what they are doing. So that's what said. There could be many more explanations. We'll give method statements further. So we are going to see hardened put down. Major thing we see, we have to see what equipments are there. Now let's say repairs. What is post concrete repair? Post-concrete repair, this is a very important point, and it should be prepared well in advance for all repairs, not particular repairs. You may say that, you may not say, but it happens. Let us say, let us put it in so that maybe there is a problem, I don't know. This is after all heat. Alright, I can say that let's go. So post concrete repair. Here this talking of this, and we are talking of this as well, talking of this, and we are talking of this. Post concrete repair. Now, purpose of this statement is to define general criteria for post-concrete repair to RCC structures, all RCC structures, not for one. So, what actually do we need in references? Concrete general specifications and structural drawings, and also manufacturer's statements, etc. Now, what is the responsibility here? I think there is nothing except saying that supervising personnel on site shall be according to project approved plans, and leaders shall arrange all materials, scaffolding, time, etc. as I said, and site engineer direct all foremen and others, and to work according to manufacturer's instructions and specifications. So let us say responsibilities shall be according to project plan, quality plan, or other plan. Project leader to arrange all materials in time, scaffolding, temporary access, etc., whatever is same. Site engineer shall direct everybody on site and physically available. Same applies to quality person. Safety, chemical safety is very important here. which we have to add in this, that's all, and then toolbox talks and all that. Now approved concrete repairing compound, that is material, whatever material it is, and method. Upon removal of formwork, concrete surface shall be inspected by everyone, you can say quality and site guys, engineers, to establish if certain surface defects have occurred. Where no surface imperfections have occurred, concrete surface shall be cured according to relevant procedures included within concrete method statement. That is application of curing either by spraying curing compound to form a continuous membrane or by continuous application of water. Minor defects as described in A to D below shall be repaired as soon as practical. More significant defects as described in E to H shall be subject to joint inspection agreement between company and contractor. So here we are going to do some, I think about 4 defects treatments, and then another 4 for some more serious issues. One is pinhole, other is sand runs, third is plastic shrinkage, and then minor misalignments. Again I say, pinholes, blowholes, sand runs, scoring, plastic shrinkage gags, minor misalignment, and then honeycombing. After that is major voids, and after that is plastic settler, settlement cracks, porous spongy. These are 8, I think. So we can say so it is A to D and E to H. Let us go through this. Pinhole, blowhole. Pinholes, blowholes. Where small defects to concrete surface have occurred, such as pinholes or holes smaller than 3 mm, in diameter, or depth, surface shall be repaired using some nitomortar type. Nitomortar, I am not saying you use it, depends. I am just referring to you as sample. Nitomortar FC or equivalent other with compatible bonding agent. Nitobond AR, that is bonding agent, Nitobond AR. This surface repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed. This surface repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed, whilst concrete is still green. Right? Where small defect to concrete surface have occurred, small defect, such as pinhole or blow holes smaller than 3 mm, okay. So where small defects to concrete surface have occurred, such as pinholes or holes smaller than 3 mm in diameter, So we are talking of blowholes. We are talking of repairable material, that is nitro mortar FC or equivalent others with compatible bonding agent nitro bond AR. Then we can say or equivalent other with compatible bonding agent nitro bond AR. This surface repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed. Now, what to say? Surface repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed, and alright then. A repair shall then be left for curing for 24 hours. If you say this surface repair shall be conducted as shown as frame. Repair shall then be left for curing for 24 hours by using cover of polythene sheet on expired surface prior to polythene sheet covering. Okay. Now sand runs. Sand runs which is a very important item. Water movement inside shutter. Say water movement inside shutter can result in a streaky appearance with a loose sandy finish. That is sand runs. Scouring you can say. Scour. Water scours your concrete surface. Water movement inside shutter can result in a streaky appearance with a loose sand finish. QA/QC and site engineer shall inspect struck surface, and if such runs are observed, discuss with company who may inspect visually and finalize for nitro mortar FC or equivalent application. All loose material shall be removed by stiff brushing and then repaired as indicated in A above. What is A? That is bill holes. Plastic shrinkage cracks. Plastic shrinkage cracks, which is very common. Cracking caused by plastic shrinkage usually results in developing a series of diagonal cracks 0.5 mm wide and 3 mm deep. 0.5 mm wide and 3 mm deep. This is called plastic shrinkage cracks diagonally occurring. Contractor QC with site engineer inspect surface, and if such cracks are observed, discuss with engineer who may inspect visually and finalize for repair application. Cracking caused by plastic shrinkage usually results in developing a series of diagonal cracks, which is about 0.5 mm wide and 3 mm deep. QC with site engineer shall inspect surface, and if such cracks are observed, discuss with responsible person who may inspect visually and finalize for repair application. These shall be repaired by brushing dry cement powder directly into concrete and the cracks, and you can say finalized for repair application. These shall be repaired by brushing dry cement powder directly into cracks while concrete is less than 5 or These shall be repaired by brushing dry cement powder directly into cracks while concrete is less than 3 days old and covering with dampation. Minor misalignment. Minor misalignment, so it is a plastic shrinkage, cracking caused by plastic shrinkage usually results in series of diagonal cracks 0.5 mm in contact. They will inspect and decide to do. Repaired by brushing dry cement. This shall be repaired by brushing dry cement powder directly into cracks while concrete is less than 3 days old and covering with dampation. Okay. Minor misalignment, typically less than 2 centimeters. What's that? See that? Minor misalignment, and that's important point here. Minor misalignment. Contractor QC and site engineer shall inspect surface, and if such misalignment is observed, discuss with company engineer who may inspect visually and finalize for repair application. Finalize for repair application. Misalignments due to shutter movements, etc., shall be ground back to provide a smooth transition between areas. Grinding, misalignments due to shutter movement, form movement, etc., shall be ground back to provide a smooth transition between areas. Means if there is much unevenness, grind it. Where the occurs joints between panels, ground profile length shall be 2 to 3 times size of maximum misalignment. Where it occurs at joints between panels, ground profile length shall be 2 to 3 times. Ground means where you are grinding, it's not ground otherwise. Grind, ground. Ground profile length shall be 2 to 3 times size of maximum misalignment. Let us say 1 millimeter misalignment with 3 millimeter grinding. After grinding, profile length is that, means 3 millimeter at least. After grinding surface, so the length of profile is 2 to 3 times. After grinding surface shall be reinstated using nitro mortars, bonding agent. Now, again I say, after grinding, before that where it occurs at joints between panels, grind profile length, you may say if you can't understand ground, where you grind it and grounding. So ground profile length shall be 2 to 3 times size of maximum misalignment. You can say there's 2 millimeter misalignment, it should be 3 times 6 mm. So it is within limits, means from distance you may not note it. After grinding, surface shall be reinstated using nitromotor FC, B and bonding agent nitromotor AR. Care shall be taken to ensure that specified concrete cover is maintained all time. Honeycombing, very common. Honeycombing. Contractor QC engineer with site shall inspect surface, and if such honeycombing observed, discuss with company engineer who may inspect visually and finalize for repair application. This is a typical sentence. Repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed. It shall consist of chipping repair area. Where is honeycombing? Chip repair area free of latents and exposing all voids. Repair area shall be then soaked with water and nitrobond AR. Bonding agent is it. So we say repair shall be conducted as soon as formwork is removed. It shall consist of chipping repair area free of latents and exposing all aids. Repair area shall then be soaked with water and nitrobond AR. Bonding agent applied. Bonding agent shall not be allowed to dry. Area shall be applied with trowel, with render rock, TG motor, or whatever else motor you have. Render rock, TG motor material shall be applied firmly into repair area. Should depth of repair exceed 15 mm, repair shall be conducted in 2 layers, providing a scratch coat on first layer. Repair shall then be cured in accordance with the agreed procedure using water curing compound appropriate. This is render rock TG motor. We'll discuss with that. Let us see this again. Honeycombing, segregation, minor voids. This is very common. We have to take care of this, and it's very important also. We have to take care of that. What say? Both quality engineer, other engineer should go and see honeycombing, inspect this, and call engineer if it's required to prepare. So you both work together with real engineer, contract engineer, and get decided, make a decision. And how to repair? Immature play. Don't wait when farmers remove, do it. Chip repair area, and with water. So what we have to say, chip it, alright. You have to chip that area, expose all, remove all latents and expose all wires and reach to very hard, you can say, surface of concrete, or you see where you can see aggregates exposed. Now soak with water and nitrobond bonding agent applied. You apply bonding agent, soak with water and apply bonding agent, and do not allow that agent to dry before render rock is applied. It still should be dry, do not allow to be dry. It's why bonding agent shall not be allowed to dry. Area shall be applied with trowel, with render rock, or whatever other material you are going to use. Material, that is render rock, mortar material, shall be applied firmly into repair area. Should depth of repair exceed 15 mm, depth of repair shall be conducted in 2 layers, providing a scratch coat on first layer. Repair shall then be cured in accordance with agreed procedure using water or curing compound or as appropriate. Now, what is render rock? We have to see this. And we'll say major voids. Render rock is minimum applied thickness is 10 mm. Minimum applied thickness is 10 mm. Large overhead sections up to 20 mm. Minimum is 8-10 mm. Large overhead sections up to 20 mm. Vertical sections up to 50 mm. Small pockets horizontal up to 100 mm. Maximum length up to 3 meter. This is general, just beautifully I've given you all specification, not new one. So this is what we have to see. You have to understand. Let me put off, I think, my fan. It's no need now. So 100 mm is minimum, right? 100 mm is minimum. Okay, we have 100 mm minimum. I can take out the slide if required. Okay, it's okay. Taking a slide now. 100 mm is minimum. Can say also. You may say that. I think I should take out this. Okay. I can take out this, no problem. I can take out this, right? And you can put this also off, moving up this now. Minimum applied thickness is 100 mm. Large overhead section up to 20 mm. Overhead sections, vertical section up to 50 mm. And small pockets up to 100 mm. That's horizontally, not vertically. Maximum length up to 3 meters. This is old specification. I'm just giving you reference. You may check it yourself. Now, major voids. What are major voids? Typically deeper than 5 centimeters. Voids where there is no concrete. Again, same procedure, quality and site engineer inspect area or surface, and if such honeycombing observed, or we can say voids observed, discuss with responsible engineer who has to approve and finalize, inspect visually and finalize for repair application. This repair shall consist of chipping affected area to remove all latents and voids. Where reinforcement is exposed in void, surrounding concrete shall be chipped away to provide adequate space to place fresh concrete around reinforcement. A distance of 1.5 times stone size shall be allowed around all exposed reinforcement. Formwork shall be provided to retain fresh concrete repair. Generally it's called letterbox formwork, we call it. Formwork shall be provided to retain fresh concrete repair. Chipped area be soaked and then be primed. This portion with chip must be soaked and then be primed with a bonding agent such as night bond AR. Bonding agent shall not be allowed to dry, as usually said before. Repair area shall be formed to retain concrete such as letterbox type formwork for vertical surface. Fresh concrete of same grade as surrounding concrete be used, same grade, to repair defect. This repair shall be carried out while concreting some other elements of same grade of concrete as repair element. So you can wait for that. Is it? Repair shall be water cured along with parent concrete. Surface finishes to repair shall be of same standard as surrounding concrete. So I repeat this 10 points, very important for major voids, because voids are a big problem. Says contractors, QC or quality engineer and site engineer may inspect, have to inspect surface, and if such major voids or honeycombing observed, you can call them major voids as well as honeycombing both, observed, discuss with company engineer or contractual engineer and or resident engineer, and finalize for repair application. This repair shall consist of chipping affected area to remove all latents and voids, and where reinforcement is also exposed in void, surrounding concrete shall be chipped away to provide adequate space to place fresh concrete around reinforcement. A distance of 1.5 times stone size or aggregate size, generally 20 mm it is, and 20 to 30 mm shall leave around, shall be allowed. So if your aggregate is nominal size 20 mm, then you have to leave around steel 30 mm. A distance of 30 mm, 1.5 times stone size allowed around all exposed reinforcement so that concrete can go in. Formwork shall be provided to retain fresh concrete. Repair, where is chipped, that area shall be soaked in, be primed with bonding agents such as nitro-bond. Bonding agent shall not be allowed to dry, that's okay. Shall be allowed to dry. Repair area shall be formed to retain concrete, such as letterbox type formwork for vertical surface. Fresh concrete of same grade as surrounding concrete be used to repair defect. This repair shall be carried out while concreting some other elements of same grade of concrete as repair element. This means we can keep void ready, prepared, and we apply bond as well as concrete at same time. We can keep ready, clean everything, and letterbox is ready, everything is ready. Only application of bond and immediate pour. The repair shall be water cured along with parent concrete. Surface finishes to repair shall be of same standard as surrounding concrete. Then we can say plastic settlement cracks. Plastic settlement cracks. Cracking caused by settlement of concrete can result in series of cracks which mirror reinforcement. We should say. Just a minute, please. Just a minute, I'll come back. 1 minute, please. Go and do it. So cracking caused by settlement of concrete can result in series of cracks which mirror reinforcement pattern in horizontal surfaces or appear to arch on vertical surfaces. I say series of cracks which mirror reinforcement pattern in horizontal surfaces or appear to arch on vertical surfaces. Contractor quality and site engineer inspect and call company engineer and visually inspect the finalized application, same procedure. All such cracks be chased out to a depth of 10 to 15 mm. 10 to 15 mm crack out. So all such cracks shall be chased out to a depth of 10 to 15 mm and filled with an epoxy mortar such as render rock, TG. Cannot simply leave it like that. So series of cracks be chipped out and say chased out depth of 10 to 15 mm and filled with epoxy mortar. Porous, spongy surface. Contractor, same procedure. Yet call both engineers to call that engineer and decide. All affected surfaces shall be ground back affected surface, the porous surface, be ground back to good concrete, usually only 2 to 3 mm below surface. Instead of grind it 2 to 3 mm surface within cover itself. Surface shall then be reinstated using nitromotor as indicated in A above. All repairs noted above shall be recorded on post-bore inspection form. It may not be necessary to raise a non-conformance report, provided repairs are carried out as indicated above and agreed with company or contract engineer. Repairs not covered within above procedure shall be dealt with on a case-by-case basis and agreed with engineer before commencing repairs. So I repeat, this very small porous spongy surface. We have same procedure of calling engineer and affected surface be ground. Affected surface shall be ground back to 2 to 3 mm usually below affected surface. Then this surface shall be reinstated using nitromotor, and as indicated in A explanation above, all repairs noted above, be recorded in post-bore inspection form. Not be necessary to raise NCR for this because it's already given here. Where to do that? It will not be necessary to raise NCR provided repairs are carried out in a way indicated above the agreed company. Repairs not covered in the above statements, not covered in the above procedure, shall be dealt with on case by case basis and agreed with company before commencing repairs. And we can provide with this, all manufacturers ladder sheet pertaining to following materials, nitromotor, all this material we considered there. You can provide that one. Then the serious line. So this is what statement I have given. I tried to give you. That is about repairs. It's a very important one. Many questions are raised on websites as well. People raise these questions about these defects. So I tried to bring to them on this talk, and this is very important point to understand. So let me know, just take a minute here, and we'll be back in a short while. Just a minute, please. You can meanwhile read this statement if you wish. It's up to you. You can read this a little here. I think you should read a little here. This is what it is. You can read this. It's important for your knowledge. Okay, going to the talk. I will talk about the room. We didn't. We talk about So here is what is there after this. I explained to you about this, right? Now, so this is there. Another one. It is last one, I think. Sewage pipeline laying work from manhole located in premises to existing manhole in street roads. And I think it's only one put which was. Let us see if I can complete this in this period. It's also a very interesting one. It's not that one. It's actually this is something different. You can say. We may say this is like sewerage pipeline laying work from manhole located in premises or existing building. Okay, this is to loads. Purpose of this statement is to define procedure that shall be adopted for laying a sewage pipeline from circular manhole located in premises to existing manhole on street. And drawing is available, let us say drawing image and surface water layout, sketch included indicatively, only nothing to do. Responsibilities are same as before we said. Means all the same responsibilities, citing the site given generally that safety also same, not big issue. Means material ready mix concrete, so approved fill material, asphalt pavements, and no methods there. First of all, traffic scheme shall be implemented because this is a main road. So traffic scheme shall be implemented to divert traffic, all according to road crossing permit granted by plant operating authority, because this is a plant area. This scheme shall be conducted on basis of closure of section until work is completed. Since location is not very busy with traffic, ample site space is available to provide a diverted road without facing any issue. So diversion was not very difficult in this case. In case location is busy with traffic, half and half section only could be taken and shall be carried out for laying pipes. But significant point doesn't allow such preference, since half pipe pressure testing is not permissible in such a situation. So we have to do full crossing together because of testing purpose. Pipe length is not too considerable, which requires single test for whole length. Setting out shall be done from last internal manhole location to existing public manhole location on road as indicated on included plan. Refer to sketches. It's not here on this sketch, just a reference only. Portion of road bitumic surface shall be removed mechanically by shovel teeth or by some other road cutting equipment. Portion of soil below road surface and that from internal manholes locations shall be excavated manually. Any existing services discovered during manual excavation shall be intimated to plant operating authority as well as to concerned department for taking proper action. Excavation shall be carried out to formation profile according to defined invertible and bedding concrete for repairs. Excavation shall be carried out to formation profile according to defined IL and bedding concrete for pipe. Formation shall be properly dressed and compacted. Inspection shall be conducted at according to ITP requirement. Bedding concrete shall be laid, finished to defined profile and cured. Extra strength vitrified pipes or a specified 150 mm diameter to 200 mm diameter shall be laid on bedding and joint. Extra strength vitrified pipe or as specified 150 mm dia or 200 mm dia shall be laid on bedding and jointing. A hole shall be made in wall of existing manhole under official supervision and required pipe inserted accordingly, followed by sealing between pipe surface and manhole drill surface. Inspection shall be conducted all according to ITP requirement. Testing shall be conducted as required after pipeline is properly anchored. Upon successful completion of test, surrounding concrete shall be poured and cured. Approved granular above pipe fill material shall be dropped in layers duly compacted accordingly up to formation level of existing road. So it says approved granular above pipe fill material shall be dropped in layers duly compacted accordingly up to formation level of existing road. Before that, upon successful completion of test, surrounding concrete shall be poured. Now we have no granular materials laid. road bitmap course that was dismantled or removed shall be reinstated to original status to satisfaction of engineer immediately after completion of operations. Traffic diversions shall be removed and traffic reinstated. And we need batching plant, transit truck, road cutting equipment, shovel, etc. and drying included in that. So we can say this was a very small statement for this purpose, but whatever it is informative and we should respect that. So we can say in this file we covered non-plant buildings, but this is not end of this. Of course this file, but more statements will be coming in, and we will talk of non-plant and plant building both together in future times. So what today we covered is this, and that's really very important. We covered many statements of use. We covered chemical treatments, we covered repairs, we covered other points like, we covered in this non-plant buildings areas, we covered, what is that, it is, let me see what is that, hold on please. Yes, it's coming pouring concrete, and also we covered in this very important one, we covered in this, that is preparatory works pertaining reinforcement placement. We start from that actually, preparatory work for also we covered road, we covered some driveway roads, that is, that is here we covered road works on driveways, and before that we took last time, I think we took last time, that was floor scale, which we call last time. So we can say from, not from this but from next one, we covered from here, from page yes, interlocking blocks, of course, concrete interlocking blocks we covered from here, page 18, almost half of file we can say we covered, and I think it should be benefit to everybody for this. I understand that you should get benefit of that. It's an important one. So with this note, I try to, or should I speak more? I don't know. What should I say? It's an important one, important decision, and should be taken care of rather than we can say that it's now. I think method statement is very important for everyone, every engineer. There's no doubt we have to do professional work. We should not hang work in our minds. My mind says one thing, your mind says another, then foreman mind says third thing, and workers do another. That complexity should not be created, and if it is created, only solution is to come out of that problem. We should come out of that, so that quality, designs, construction, method, statements, time, cost, scalability, analysis, thinking, completion, application is application. That we have to understand. We can't avoid that. Application is application. We have to understand that point, and that's a very important point. If you don't understand that, you miss a lot. That's the sole purpose of this device of method statement. Method statement, if you use this policy in your work, well, I think there's no way you can't be successful. You shall become very successful if you use this policy of method statements, understanding derivation of method statement. After all, you have to do some method on site. Why not to do it this way? Why not to have complete value of your work? And why don't you think that you are a professional in that way? Professionalism is very important. In work, you may be whatever sort of engineer, but if you are not professional, well, I think that is a big question mark. I think we should understand liability of work, we should understand responsibility of work, we should think of quality rather than only quantity. If quantity is only important, I think there is no need of professionals. Because if you don't follow all that, what's required to be followed, there's nothing else that is to be done. So it's very important point. We have to take into our consideration what is required and what is not required. We have to be professional. We have to prove in field that we are professionals. Simply claiming I am professional, but I can't do professional way, that's not requirement. That's not requirement, and it should be, you can say, avoided. We have to understand facts of life. We have to understand reality of life. We cannot say, yes, what I said is right or wrong. It should be considered accordingly. So this was only a guidance to all what we should do. We should go this way or we should go that way. Method statement is only solution for many miscommunication problems. Miscommunication must be avoided, and that can be avoided only when there is concrete instruction, there is solid instruction, the instruction that can be deviated. You must have confidence that you have provided information to everybody, and everybody must know that what I have to do. All mistakes happen on site generally, most of them happen because of misunderstanding, miscommunication, and something like that, which we have to prevent from happening accordingly. That's the whole purpose of this. With this note, I keep it off. Thank you very much, and I stop this. I hope you got it.